И здравствуйте, друзья, товарищи! Мы с вами возвращаемся в кошачьи приключения. Итак, в прошлый раз мы с вами закончили на том, что узнали, что наш любимый футбольный физкультурник, то бишь тренер по боксу, был мощно задействован в расследовании страшных антикоррупционных схем. То есть схем, как противодействовать спортивной мафии Нью-Йорка. Будем смотреть, чё как. Угу. Ну чё, Бэтмен, давай посмотрим.
According to his notebook, Dunn had seen Craig Spano at Sam's Diner just 4 days before his death.
Get out of here, pussy!
I'm sorry about what happened to Mary.
You're sorry? I'm the one who's sorry. You know what it's like to run this place alone? What the hell do you care, anyway? Beat it!
It might have been easier to slap the information out of him, but I decided to trust in a universal truth.
Okay.
Everyone is guilty of something. You don't know who I am, right?
Don't know and don't care! Come on, spit it out!
I'm John H. Blackmore, Public Health Inspector.
Oh, yeah, right. There are some real freaks around here, so I have to be firm, you know? Have you eaten? Dinner's on the house.
And put my health at risk? Too many food poisoning cases on your record, sir. Will you cooperate?
Sure, go ahead. Your call. Always at your disposal, Inspector. Ask away.
Fear turned him soft and made him talk.
Хорош я.
Sure enough, Dunn had been there a few days back with a chimpanzee who matched Spano's description. Apparently, the guy still lived with his father. Dunn said he couldn't stay there a day more. For the time being, he would move into his place.
Интересно.
Wait a minute. What does Public Health Services have to do with that chimp?
The chimp died of food poisoning.
But wait! He didn't even eat!
Which is even worse.
Нормально. Так он даже не ел, говорит. И тем хуже. Представляете, не ел, а умер от пищевого отравления. Это ж как тут все у них устроено в этом ресторанчике, а? Мистер Сэм.
I wanted to believe that when Randall Lee broke into the apartment, Spano fled to his former address. But where could that be?
А это ты откуда знаешь, что он называл своей семьей бейсбол? Так. Ну и биография. Ну да. Тут ума много не надо.
I gotcha.
Он живет на кладбище Гринвуд. На кладбище? На кладбище люди обычно не живут. Вот хорошая фраза, да.
In the mid-19th century, Greenwood became the resting place to the city's most distinguished citizens. Thinkers, scientists, writers, inventors, artists, businessmen, politicians, police officers, thieves, pimps, and murderers.
Особенно переход от изобретателей к сутенерам прям вот хорош был.
Here lie the bodies of the soulless minds that raised New York from the ground up. Now you know where to go to become somebody in the Big Apple.
Ну, не обязательно добиться успеха таким образом, но вы теперь точно знаете, где вы окажетесь, если вы этого успеха добились. Где-то здесь. Нифига себе у них кладбончик, зацените размер. Зацените обстановку. А интересно, кстати, у них же обычно всякие там, они же ближе к Роллингтонскому кладбищу, да? Все такой порядок, чистенько, аккуратненько, вот без такой вычурной херни. Мистер Планка Пикатини. Ну, я понимаю, что он очень крутой детектив, но, блин, меня чисто мешает, что он не может бегать. Это меня несколько нервирует. Ну, хотя бы чуток, мужик. Ну, вот, ну, пусечку, ты же котик. Коты быстро бегают, я знаю, иногда своих хер догонишь. И не то, чтобы это чисто было надо.
I've never trusted angels. When they fall...
Перед вами демон.
They turn into demons.
Ой, флажочек, смотрите, какой интересный.
The four bases guarding their father.
Ну-ка.
Still hot.
Намусорил на кладбище, блин. Скотина такая. Ну, он на дереве, наверное, да? Он же макака. О, это ж Мухаммед Али, знаменитая фотка его. Вон, видите, под деревом валяется обертка от шоколадки. Господи, какой. Томбах. Блин, мужик, ну шевели ты локтями шустрее. Мне надо найти эти гребаные карточки. Я понял. Там тупик. Так, здесь что? Думается, здесь ничего. Не слишком примечательный. Надгробий. Отберите у человека саксофон. Черт его подери, ну что тут музыка вообще не подходит. Залихватски прохиндейская мелодия на кладбище выглядит, как будто я пытаюсь прикопать пяток своих родственников бесплатных кому-то.
A Celtic cross. Supposedly, the ring keeps the devil at bay by reflecting the
Солярный
sunlight.
символ.
Really handy at this time of the day.
Классика. Символистическая философия о том, что именно так это и работает. А это что написано на тебе, мать? А есть за тобой какая-нибудь вкусняшка? Симс. Мистер и миссис Симс имели честь упокоиться на этом кладбончике.
According to the book I found at Dunn's place, Fans of the sport leave baseballs on Bradwick's tomb to pay their respects. It's strange that I don't see any. Maybe they're gone with the wind, or somebody claimed them as part of their inheritance.
Ну, я нашел один уже. Гарри Брэдвей. Апрель 1908 года. Да. Давненько. Дженни Вудс. В 15 году умерла. Давно тоже уже.
It'd be even better with a skull between the bats.
Вторая палочка от лапши. Кстати, прикольные палочки. Нифига себе, кстати, только размер палочек на стрелу похоже по размеру. А что, бейсбольные мячики реально так прыгают?
I found a baseball glove at Joe Dunn's place. A glove signed by a great star. I couldn't believe my luck. I've always been a New York Warriors fan, although to be honest, they're not what they used to be. Yep, they just haven't been the same without Craig Spano. I'm investigating a case of sports corruption. I think a considerable amount of athletes are involved, both current celebrities and former stars.
Marley's are the absolute worst.
Не нравится ему мои Lucky Strike. Только сигарету испортил.
Who are you?
I'm John Blacksad, private investigator.
How's Joe?
One question at a time. It's my turn.
Your turn.
Why did you meet with Joe Dunn?
Because he was looking for me. He came here one morning, but I was too embarrassed to come down.
Почему?
He left a baseball with his initials on by the tombstone. Sam Steiner, tomorrow. 12:30 a.m.
Блин, шпионы просто вообще.
He knew they want to kill me.
What did he want from you? And who wants to kill you?
One question at a time. How's Joe?
What would happen if I told him the truth? Would he lose it? Could I take that chance? Joe Dunn is dead. Murdered.
I told you, Joe. How did it happen?
Да, по очереди, братан.
One question at a time. My turn.
Так, чего от вас хотел Дан? Вот нам.
What did Dunn want from you?
He wanted to know who was playing dirty in the sporting business. Dirtier than usual, that is. Wrecked lives, careers, ruined at the top of the game. He wanted to know if the same had happened to me. He wanted to know if the end of my career and my disappearance had anything to do with all that. He wanted me to confirm who was behind it all. The guy who had him killed. Our old friend, the surgeon.
Это никак ли уж...
Is Mitchell the surgeon? Is he the person behind all of this? That surgeon
Блин,
you
горе
mentioned,
какое.
is he...
My turn. I want to know why I should trust you.
Да, потому что я мог
Because
вас...
I could have killed you by now, but I haven't. It's my turn. That surgeon that you mentioned, is he in this photo I got here? Ow! Hey! Hey, that toss was... Both my ear and my self-esteem would hurt for days. But at least I had a new lead to follow, the surgeon. The bastard had avoided my scrutiny by passing as a hospital doctor. But now, all of my senses were on guard. No matter how good the disguise or how well he hid, I would find him.
So, what you're saying is, one, there's a corruption scandal involving all kinds of athletes. Two, our puppet master is a surgeon named Mitchell, a man who happened to fight in the war with Dunn, right?
Yep.
Every lead I've found points to him.
Anyway, where was I? Number 3, right? 3. Since Dunn was on his trail, Mitchell hired an anteater to get rid of him. Then, since you were also shaking the wasp's nest, he went after you. But the anteater made a mistake, and Mitchell killed him to cover his own tracks. And, wait, 4. The key to all this lies with a common friend of Dunn's and Mitchell's, Craig Spenow. Do you really trust him?
I have the feeling there's something Craig didn't tell me. I don't know what exactly, but I'll find out.
Конечно,
4.
все что-то скрывают.
I mean, 5. Dunn was murdered 4 days after taking Speno to his house. If that doesn't make him suspect, makes sense, doesn't it?
Не сходится.
No, It doesn't add up.
В чем
Why not?
смысл?
Just a hunch.
А в
Let's
чем
follow up with the suspects.
смысл?
You told Smirnov you're convinced that Yale is innocent. But what about O'Leary? 6.
Так. Мгм. Ну-ка.
O'Leary wouldn't have sent Randall to kill Dunn. He would have dragged him to his basement, given him his little speech, and then killed him himself.
Да.
Nah. I know O'Leary, and he wouldn't have sent a hitman. He would have taken matters into his own hands.
What about Cassidy? 7, right?
Так, Кэссиди это который чувак, да? Мгм. А убийца тщательно спланировал, да. То есть не его стиль.
I think it's safe to rule out Cassidy as Dunn's murderer. He seems too impulsive to have planned such a twisted crime. Whoever planned the whole thing knew the suicide theory would fall through. So he manipulated the clues to incriminate Yale. Cassidy is too impulsive to pull off such an intricate plan.
So you're right. Mitchell is the one pulling the strings.
Или тот, кого вы еще не
And
знаете,
you know
друзья.
why? Because in novels, the murderer is always someone the detective knows from the beginning.
Well, that could be the case in British novels. You know, where everyone in the mansion where the murder took place is a suspect. But this might just be an American whodunit, where the detective doesn't even meet the culprit until the last scene.
You mean we still don't know who's pulling the strings?
Вот,
I
такое
didn't say
вполне
that.
может быть, да.
How did it go with Helen Moore?
I didn't get anything, even though it started out really well. I asked to interview her along with her boyfriend, Al Stone. Since I'm a big shot, they were happy to oblige.
Ну-ка.
Perfect. Now, time for the interview. I'll go back and forth so you don't get bored. So, who goes first? Here's one for both of you. What do you think about sports on television? Is it good for business, or will it make it all more for the masses?
More for the masses, for sure, but also more fair. Ever since television came along, there's no place for corrupt athletes or rigged games. In the old days, athletes succumbed to corruption scandals because they didn't make enough money. Because no matter how large a stadium is, space is limited. But thanks to TV and advertising, my generation has put an end to corruption.
Now that's a headline. Okay, now. Time for a picture.
How should we pose?
Show me your profiles. Back to back. Wonderful. You two should be models. Moving on. Here's a question for Al. Your manager is Frank Cassidy, president of the Boxing Managers Association of New York. According to him, only boxers working with member managers should be allowed to compete. What do you think about that?
We never talk politics, honey. Athletes should steer clear of controversy and stay focused on their sport. Don't you think?
Yeah, that's right.
Now what? Mind if I take another one?
You want us to do something in particular?
Show me your weapons. The fist against the racket. That's it. Perfect. Okay, one more question. And
Al, honey, can you answer it? I've gotta go say hi to a fan. I'll be right back, Mr. Pulitzer.
Wait. You mean she stopped smiling when that fan showed up?
Yeah.
Could you describe him for me?
I'll be able to show you something as soon as I'm done developing these pictures. And actually, I thought it was odd too. So while I continued to interview Stone, I managed to take some pictures of Moore and whoever her mysterious fan was. All right, so where were we?
Прикольно. Мгм.
In just 12 days, the contender will try to steal your belt. Any thoughts on your fight against Yale?
Well, supposedly the odds are in my favor, but there's no such thing as a weak rival. And, you know, Bobby Yale might be young and going through a rough patch, but he's had an amazing streak, so I'll do my best.
А он прикольный мужик, кстати.
Let's get that picture taken. Okay, now raise your head and your arms up like you were celebrating a victory.
Like this?
Exactly. Wait, I accidentally moved. Stand still. I'll take another one. What's with me today? Don't move, please. Now we got it. Should we keep at it?
Так, сейчас 5 сек перерыв. Прошу прощения. И... А то еда приехала кошачья, это святое. Вот, вернулись мы. Продолжаем разговор. Здорово, кошатина. Эть.
Are you ever jealous about sharing your sweetheart with America?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm jealous, but I know that someone so popular and honest can draw the wrong kind of attention. There are plenty of people who would love to put an end to her career, so it's not easy.
I'm going to take one more, all right? Turn around and show me those biceps from behind.
Like that?
That's it. What's up with me? Stand still. I'll take it again. I can't seem to get it right. Don't move.
О,
It's about time. Finally, we're all set.
Wait. So, are you telling me the photos are developed? Or is that what you said to Stone?
Both. Just look.
Lizard.
Who's that guy?
I know he's not a fan. You should have seen her face when she saw him.
How the hell did you make them pose like that? They're lovers, not sworn enemies.
I don't know. I was focused on my detective skills.
Так, вот, она же
I
очень
think she
редко
only
курит.
smokes when she's nervous. What was making her nervous? That's a decent picture, but it doesn't tell the truth.
Huh? Of course it's the truth. I was there.
Stone isn't as strong as he looks, and Moore certainly doesn't need him to lift her up.
I nailed it, didn't I? The perfect couple, leaning on each other. Just like you and me, pal.
Steady there, cowboy. Look at his hand. Is he pulling something out of Moore's purse?
А я же знал, что это чертов Родченков. Игуана?
I've seen that matchbox before.
Конечно.
Wait, that's him.
Who?
Mitchell, the surgeon.
Seriously? We got him.
Not yet.
Right. We still have to find him. Hey, pal. Did you hear what I just said? We need to keep looking at all those pictures. We need a clue that'll take us to Mitchell. Hey, see? There. Just like I was saying.
Мгм. Да неужели? Быть того не может. У нас достаточно улик. Ля Игуана. Меня дико радует его совершенно неприметная красная машина.
Brawls aren't even the worst part of my job. Sure, you may take a beating, but at least you get the chance to defend yourself. But when you're sitting in your car all night, there's no way out. Your legs cramp up, your back and neck feel stiff. Your entire body aches to be somewhere else. It's boring and repetitive. People were finally leaving the place, but The bar was about to close.
Сейчас мы будем вламываться в бар.
And I hadn't seen Mitchell go in or out.
То есть и ты решил все-таки спалить
I had
контору, да,
no
братан?
choice.
Зря. Мы закрыты.
I see you took me up on my invitation.
А,
And you're smart. You knew not to come until my anti-fur regulars had all cleared out.
I can't say no to good advice.
Or good bourbon. Here's looking at you, Mr. What was your name?
As far as I knew, La Iguana always stayed neutral. He played poker with Cassidy. But his joint was used as a gambling drop-off for O'Leary's operation. Did it make sense to keep faking it? Or was it too dangerous not to?
Farnham. Howard M. Farnham II.
That's right. Howard Farnham from Ding Dong, Texas. You're natural. That sure beats your poker game.
This here's much easier. No cheating.
You barely flinched when Cassidy decided to teach that ego a lesson.
What do you want a fella to say? I was too flabbergasted to be surprised, to be honest. These things don't happen in Texas.
Damn it.
Well, nobody's perfect. Tell me, what do you really want with Cassidy? I can't say it's clear to me.
Well, you see, Desmond O'Leary is my enemy. If you know a thing or two about him, I can leave it at that.
Don't worry about it. I was only curious. So, what about me? What do you want from me? No one comes to La Iguana just to drink and play pool.
I'm here looking for a regular of yours, Dr. Angus Mitchell.
What for?
The police is on his trail. I'm just looking to warn him.
Sure. Tell you what, I'll talk to Mitchell. Come back tomorrow night.
You don't understand. I have to talk to him, or else.
Or else what?
Так.
You'd be losing your chance to make a pretty penny. I know how to reward my allies.
You think I'd spend my time in this dump if all I cared about was the money? Please, cut the crap. Anything else?
Я думаю, он в курсе.
I don't think Cassidy would be too happy about the role this here dump plays in O'Leary's gambling operation. You follow me?
Son of a bitch. All right. Give me your phone number, and I'll give you a call when Mitchell shows up.
No. You're gonna call him right now, and you're gonna give him this message.
А чё ты голос-то поменял, родной?
But when you're sitting in your car all night, there's no way out. Your legs cramp up, your back and neck feel stiff, your entire body aches to be somewhere else. It's boring and repetitive. It's so bad that your thoughts spiral in a never-ending loop. Like when you're stuck in your car, on surveillance duty. The owner of La Iguana was supposed to tell Mitchell that a certain anteater was still alive, and that it was only a matter of time before he ratted him out. With a bit of luck, that would make him nervous enough to force his hand.
Да, вот это скрытно вообще так поехал за ним. Просто мега скрытно. Никого вокруг нет, но мы следим. Да. Чума. Ну что ж, мы сейчас нашего-то, блин, доктора-то, прижучим. Видели, у нас-то, оказывается, наша Анна Курникова-то таблетки пожирает пачками. И я думаю, что это вряд ли рыбий жир. Скорее всего, аспиринка. Либо это как аскорбиночка. Да? Большая банка аскорбинов. Апельсиновых. Нормально он так припарковался. Меня категорически прибирают их эти огромные баржи, которые по ошибке назывались автомобилями. Ну, видимо, в этой части мы сейчас будем вскрывать дверь. Так. Конь. А конь хорош. Угу.
He went in without it. I wonder what's in it.
Ну, сказали, he went in without it. Он вошел без нее. Ну-ка, послушай.
We'll be just fine, don't worry. Gil, stand guard right here. If the cat shows up, you know what to do. I'll be back in an hour.
Кадиллак. Как вам новый Кадиллак? Как дела, как дела? Знаете, такая поэзия есть современная. Коня зовут Гил, да? Блин, ну конь хорош. Такой кулю турист. Так, ну-ка.
Could I take him by surprise from over there? Although I don't know how I'd get there.
Ты же кот, ядрен пассатижи. Конь-турист, да. Не, ну там реально конь-огонь такой. У него там этот грудак такой. Конь и тур. Согласен. Конь и тур. Два в одном. Ну, в помойке, да, самое место такой картинки. Секостный. Так, куда бы тут дойти-то еще? Хенева. Это как Женева, видимо, да? Ага. То есть, видимо, от нас требуется совершенно неслышно завести вилочный погрузчик. Привет, Клаус. Доехать на нем куда-то и, видимо, поднять коня. На недосягаемую ранее высоту, да? Вот. Да-да, все верно, Клаус. Это какой же все-таки шикарный ролик. Каждый раз его пересматриваешь с таким удовольствием. Блин, я так... Ни один слэшер не смотришь подростковый. Так, я могу что-то... Давайте сейчас я что-нибудь придумаю. Да.
Of course, he's Randall Lee's partner. I should be careful. When they gave me a beating, I could see he was kind of trigger happy.
Trigger happy. Хорошая. Хорошее слово, да? Давайте еще что-нибудь, да. Придумываем. В смысле? Так, что ли? Да и пошло на лесом. Я не понимаю тогда, простите. Вопрос, кто был выдавал себя за хирурга? Митчелл выдавал себя за хирурга. Не, ни хера, это не совпадение. Так, а что, кстати, он скажет, если просто потыкать туда? На стеночку. Хороший звонок супруга поставил, да. Ну, значит, я правильно шел. Это я. Ну да, короче, берем вилочный погрузчик и начинаем брутально погружаться. Последнее, где мы не были, это вот здесь. Вот, да. Кстати, давайте посмотрим, что там с залом славы-то у нас. Hall of Fame. Так, осталось нам здесь найти 2 футболиста. Побольше с бейсболерами. Блин, нет, там 50 штук уже к этому моменту должно быть, да. О, тут всего их 75. Ну, конечно, да. Еще нет. Еще, конечно, нет. Ой, ну и хоккеисты. Вообще их всего 100 штук. Вот, ну, вряд ли все найдем, конечно. Ну, ладно. Сделаем все, что можем. В дальнейшем, если будем переигрывать, а мы, я думаю, что переигрывать будем. Сейчас мы идем за хорошего такого. А мы потом пойдем за продажную совершенно сволочь. За мерзкого, нуарного, гадкого сторонника денег и доступных женщин. Ну-ка, Клаус. Клаус, ты же знаешь, это запрещено. Будет кровища. Я вообще не понимаю, нафиг на него это прыгать. Там же, может, вход есть где-то. И карточки. Кто-то нифигово курит у них. Это ж там это... Breaking Bad происходит. Люди варят волшебный спортивный мед.
I did mess up a guy's face with an extinguisher once, but this kind is too heavy for my current needs.
Баллистический щит. У всех же на чердаке лежит баллистический щит. Пистолет забери, дебил. Срубила котя коника, а коник без ноги. Оба-на. А это чувырло что тут очутилось? Его сейчас завалит, я знаю. Проснется конь и завалит макаку. По-любому. Мы же не догадаемся круто связать коня сейчас, да, и отобрать у него пистолет. О, вот это отличная повязка нахлебал. Такой, блин, чепчик. Шикардос. Нет, ты смотри, мы догадались до чего-то. Да. Ну вот видишь, просто мы прыгнули без щита, и это... Нифига, слушай, у них там перегонные кубы-то.
What does this place have to hide?
Щир. Так, ничего не тыкаем, пока ищем карточки. Карточки ищем. Платочек вообще отличный просто. Он так его няшно еще завязал таким бантиком кавайным. Меня дико плющит, что некоторые карточки вообще не видно, что они тут в этом мире есть. Просто. Ковер. Иньян. Нифига тут индеец медитирует. Я верю в тебя, сынок. Это мама.
It could be an Ojibwa totem pole. In
Оджимба.
which case, the top animal would be a crane.
Журавль.
If I'm not mistaken, these are incense sticks, used in cleansing rituals.
Да. Ритуалы.
A dream catcher. It's supposed to protect children during the night, trapping all evil in its spider web.
Томогавг. Оф. Вообще, признаться честно, я вот когда увидел издалека эту фотографию, казалось, что это какой-то Иисус там нарисован. Блин, отберите у человека саксофон. Дайте ему какие-то другие уже инструменты. Ну сколько можно?
According to this, the warehouse belonged to a Canadian import company.
Да ладно. Боже мой. Терренс и Филипп. Я знал, что эти два канадца что-то замышляли. Кожаный диван. Может, все-таки не допинг? Сексуальная лань, кожаный диван с правильно поставленным светом.
Will I need help? Who would I call?
Давайте звякнем Смирнову. Посреди ночи Смирнов, конечно же, на работе. Где может быть Смирнов?
Smirnoff. Pier 36. Meet me in an hour.
Blacksad.
If you come in from Montgomery, it's the 6th sea-facing warehouse.
What's going on?
And bring the cavalry.
Нифига тут оборудование. Такое прям как из, там, не знаю, Вульфенштейна. Нацисты! Делают препарат. Сыворотку суперзольдата. Юберзольдата. Может, это откроется? Там много этих штучек. Что ты вот их помацал? И что ты хочешь, чтобы было? Наш маленький пушистый друг. Ты никогда не задумывался, мужик, зачем там 3 ручки? Может быть, потому что одной так просто не открутишь? Здрасте. Окей. Согласен. Такие торпеды. Ну, та же слава. Я понял. Ну, та же хит, да?
Don't you even think of screaming.
I might not even talk.
Надо нам выяснить. Индеец.
It looks like an arrowhead.
Сейчас мы все совместим. Да ладно.
Everything seems to prove that Gil is a Native American, and I'm almost sure that the woman in the picture is his mother. You know who'll always believe in you? Your mother. My mother never lost her faith in me. And I gave her plenty of reasons when I was a kid. I spent more time in detention than in the classroom. I was a big cat, so I always took it out on the little guys. Somehow my mother managed to keep me in school until I got into college, but I never gave her reasons to believe in me then either. I made new friends. The type of friends that convince you to do things that wouldn't make a mother proud. Then Pearl Harbor happened. I got drafted and sent to Europe. I never knew how to follow orders. They sent me back home with a dishonorable discharge. But when I got back, I was treated like a pariah, a veteran outcast who never should have come back in the first place. And yet, my mother never ceased to...
Рот закрой, конь.
I also fought in the war. That's where I met Mitchell. They used me, like many of my people. And then they just tossed us aside. The first time Mitchell offered me to do this, I told him to take a hike. I wanted to get my act together, but I ended up begging him. I don't like Mitchell. I don't like the things he makes me do. I don't like that German rat either. But what I like least of all is myself. I don't like what I did during the war, and I don't like what I'm doing now. Do you know what it's like to kill a friend for the sake of the mission? Huh. But my mother, she always thought I'd make amends and start anew.
Да. С днем матери, да, чувак.
Maybe it's time I did just that. It's number 3.
Так. Вот и снайпер.
What if it was Gil who killed his partner, Randall Lee, under Mitchell's orders?
Да ну нахрен. Что ж ты дедуктируешь, что постоянно ослепнешь? Так. Ну, не знаю. Так? Нет. Нет. Да и насрать. Запускай, шайтан, машину. Немцы? Немцы здесь еще, видите, замешаны. Страшные гестаповские ученые, судя по всему, проводят эксперименты над котами. И подкладывают карточки со смеющимися гиенами.
Hey, it's all right. Don't be afraid, little girl.
Брунхильда.
I'm a friend, okay?
Peter, no hurt.
Брунхильда, блин. Блин, она клевая. Такой няш.
Once upon a time, there was a beautiful princess called...
Brunhilda.
Hi, my name is Brunhilde, and I'm very happy,
said Brunhilde. And then Brunhilde, who had a beautiful name,
really beautiful.
a really beautiful name, ran into someone very special.
Oh, who was it?
A crazy wizard called...
Nein, crazy not.
Oh, no, that's not right. It was actually... a magical cat called John.
I'm a magical cat. My name is John. Hi, John the cat. I really like magical cats. I'm Brunhilde. I'm going to use my magical power to help you. You're out of a cage, too.
Nein, he's sad.
You say silly things, John the cat. So what are you going to help me do?
Mm-hmm.
Bake some delicious pies. I love pies. Which is your favorite? Wow, that's a very hard question. But John the cat, it's the easiest question in the world. Let me show you how easy it is. My favorite pie is... blueberry. Whoa, Brunhilde. That's exactly what I was about to say.
Bird. Bird. John. Brunhilda.
Freunde.
Freund.
Wir sind Freunde.
Ich look.
Du spielen.
Okay.
Их,
Hi,
как
bird.
смотреть, я не помню.
Why are you wearing that mask?
Weil. Gas.
Well, maybe we should get out of here. What do you think, Bernd? And what about you, Brunhilde? Don't you think that?
Фига, Чак, видели, в таком лихом шпагате. Просто ходит чувак и собирает коллекционные карточки. Ни хрена он не детектив, он просто клептоман.
A list of names, somehow related to chemical agents?
Ну, как и ожидалось, да? Босс. Борьбе. Фрэнк Коппер, Александр Вуд, Джулия Крейг Спэрроу. Так, ну Коппер оставить вот так. Что мы скажем? Бонхильда. Кинопроектор. Опускай. Ну-ка давайте, что такое Брунхильда?
Subject. Brunhilde Gruner. Treatment. Day 1500. The patient's ability to speak continues to diminish. Now she can only pronounce the occasional word in German. Tissue degeneration persists.
То есть он ее пытается вылечить, а заодно...
Perhaps due to drastic reduction of benzylprodine dosage and an increase of ibupropion, we have observed a 3% of deceleration of said degeneration. Furthermore, and perhaps this is the best finding so far, the subject exhibits a mild recovery of her speaking. It's not a lot, and yet we are on the right track. All hope is not lost.
То есть девочку он пытается вылечить. Веселый доктор. Ой, а что это такое там? А что там такое? Не курить. Хорошо. Не буду. Ну, давай посмотрим, мистер Спэр.
Subject Craig Spano.
Спэну, да.
Day 0. The subject is a veteran baseball player who has lost speed, strength, and agility due to the regular aging process. The patient refers intense pain on the right scapula, most likely caused by an old injury. The goals of our medical approach are twofold. To relieve pain caused by the prior injury so that the subject can play without symptoms, and to help the patient regain the physical condition lost in the aging process, thus allowing him to perform at elite levels.
The sport of elite labors. Прикольно.
120, the patient no longer feels pain when using his right arm, circumstance that allows him to pitch without fear. So far, the only side effect seems to be a slight euphoria experienced 3 hours after dosage, which subsides 4 hours later, taking the patient on an emotional roller coaster of sorts with bouts of mild trembling.
Да, не то чтобы препараты безопасны, да?
Treatment. Day 341. Moments of euphoria, and boosted physical performance have become increasingly short, while the ensuing periods of depression and weakness have become longer,
Ну да.
including severe
Чудо-таблетка не
So we have
случилось,
met
да?
all therapeutic goals. We will proceed to terminate the treatment in order to avoid causing irreparable physical and mental damage to the patient.
Ты плохой папа, хороший папа, одеялком бы закрыл. Что ж ты за папа-то такое? С газом. Медвежонок с газиком. Сейчас мы получим по голове, я так чувствую, да? Так. Дай угадаю. Ага. Не может этого быть.
Mitchell is cashing in by selling drugs to enhance athletes' performances. The worst part of Mitchell's scheme isn't that it's illegal or unethical, it's that he didn't even care about compromising the athlete's health.
Да.
Gil? You know you're not allowed down here. You know you're not allowed. It's...
You bastard! I kill you right here, right now!
I don't know.
You don't know? I know you're testing drugs on that girl.
Brunhilde? No, she's my daughter. She was born with a degenerative disease, a rare condition similar to the Angelman syndrome. There are only 4 known cases like hers, and none of the patients reached the age of 5. But I couldn't give up. I continued to research and found something. It didn't make her better, but... Anyway, that same treatment used on healthy subjects seems to improve their stamina. And their reflexes. It also seems to improve their pain threshold. Somehow, the Reich...
О, какой кот Гитлера охренительный, блин!
To create super soldiers.
У Юбер-солдата, я говорю же, ну...
Yes.
Кошак Гитлер это просто нечто.
We're talking late 30s, Berlin.
Да-да.
I escaped with Brunhilde and came to your country. But the American military also heard about me.
А американцам то собака будет?
experimenting with drugs on soldiers. Some were highly effective, I must say. When the war was over, my experiments were discarded. I was forbidden all access to the drugs.
Лев. Кстати,
and
лев прям
Brunhilde
американский
got
такой, да?
worse. But then God sent me Angus Mitchell. We had met during the war, and he came to offer me a deal. I would make drugs for athletes, and he would sell them.
А вопрос, но Митчелл же не
With
сам до
my
этого дошел,
earnings,
правильно?
I could pay for Brunhilde's treatment. What else do you want me to say?
What are the long-term effects of those drugs?
It depends on the patient. But they all develop an
Ага, вот
addiction,
оно как, да.
even Brunhilde. They also suffer other symptoms. Some become delirious. She's losing muscle mass by the day. Others
вот она что
lose
такая
their
трещавая,
ability to
да?
focus. And some, slowly but surely, lose it all.
About those pills. There was a bottle there before. What is he looking at?
Don't dwell on it, Josh. You had to tell him the truth in order to protect Brunhilde. I would have done the same thing. Finish packing up your things and stop torturing yourself, okay?
Thanks, Angus. I won't be long.
Oh, honey. You like living here? Yeah, me too. But we have to go somewhere else, and it's all that bad cat's fault. Yes, sweetie. We're going to a new home now. A prettier one, and you'll be happier there. Now go with Papa, honey. Give him a kiss. Go on. Give him a kiss. Go on. I'm sorry about this, Josh, but we gave it our best, didn't we?
What? What do you mean, Angus?
I wish it hadn't come to this.
Angus, what's wrong?
Goodbye, Josh.
Ничего себе, какая мразь, а? Вот это хардкорно.
I hope you're happy, you son of a bitch. They were good people. They didn't deserve this. You're so far from the truth. What the?
На, вгрызла.
The mask would buy me a bit of extra time. The question was, how much? Spano just ran out that way.
Война прям. Неужели Спэнноу босс?
The mask was barely working. I needed fresh air.
Да, вообще не детская игра.
Craig Spano is back! Did you miss me?
А, у него кукуха поехала. Эйфория же.
Now you're gonna see. Bring it on.
Сейчас же кончится эйфория у него, давай. Тахикардия пошла, чувак. Привет, Дим. Нифига. Короче, как и положено в нуарном фильме, все умерли нахер. Не-не-не-не-не, чувак, ты чё? Давай, мы уже одного откачали. Ты же бог реанимации, давай. Да, есть нелинейность, конечно. Нормально, чувак сходил, девочку жалко, блин, Брунгильда классная. Беда.
Don't torture yourself. You did everything you could.
Will he make it?
The doctors think so. They found him unconscious by the basement door.
What?
Так.
Could Gil have blocked the basement door from the outside to kill Mitchell?
You think? That's a serious accusation. Are you sure, or is this just a theory of yours?
It's just a theory. Let's hope we get the truth out of him.
Huh. You think Gil was involved in the previous murders?
What if it was Gil who killed his partner Randall Lee under Mitchell's orders?
Another serious accusation. Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure yet. But it very well could be the case.
Wait, couldn't Mitchell be Randall Lee's murderer?
Рэндалла убил снайпер. А Митчелл промазал дважды, стреляя в упор.
So he misses with 2 shots at point-blank range, and then he hits a guy smack in the forehead from across the street? No. Mitchell is not the sniper who wiped out Randall Lee.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But we still don't know what caused Craig Spano's death.
А мы знаем. Так. Угу.
There's no doubt about it. Spano took drugs from the lab, and they killed him.
But if that were true, how many more athletes are in danger? And most importantly, who are they? Is Bobby Yale involved?
I didn't see them all, but write down these names. Peter Lowe, Xavier Chains, Helen Moore, Bill Goldman, Miles Benton, Alexander Wood, Jacob Ziegler, and yes, Bobby Yale.
Thanks. Saving lives for a change, huh? In any case, thanks for the call. I was starting to think you'd never trust the police again.
Who said I don't trust the cops?
Hey, John. Surprise. It could have given a tip to a friend, don't you think? Or is that only the case when I helped you?
Get that guy out of here.
Надо вступиться за парня. Че, он классный. Веселый хорьх.
All right. Let's get this over with. When the war ended, Mitchell convinced Grun to use his super soldier drugs on elite athletes. Somehow, Dunn found out about Mitchell's scheme. So when Mitchell heard that Dunn was onto him, he ordered Randall Lee to kill him and frame Yale for the murder. Then, he made Randall search Dunn's house and the gym for any incriminating evidence he might have had against him. The poor cleaning lady died almost by chance. When you stuck your nose in the case, he tried to scare you by sending his thugs to give you a beating. And when that didn't work, he asked Randall Lee to finish you off on the gym rooftop. But Randall not only failed, he got captured. So Mitchell ordered Gil to put a bullet through his head, which only made Gil upset. You kept getting closer and closer to the point of discovering his headquarters. When Mitchell realized he was cornered, he burned his bridges by setting the lab on fire, along with Dr. Grun and his daughter. Gil saw the opportunity to get back at Mitchell, so he blocked the only exit so that he would also die in the fire. Did I leave any loose ends?
Just a few. But don't worry about it. I'll take care of them now. So I guess thanks for everything.
Так я ж сомневался. Хорошо, красиво трупы лежат. Ровненько. Да уж. Еще каких-то для дедукции. —
In your classic noir films and novels, solving a case never amounts to a happy ending. The detective is always left with a sense of bitterness. A feeling that, before he took the case, the world was a better place. That he was a better person.
Come on, now spit it out.
Sometimes I just let my character get the best of me.
What do you want from me?
I told Stone what I knew. That he was going to let Yale win. That if he didn't, O'Leary would destroy Helen Moore's career. And that Moore was doomed either way. Or would be, as soon as America discovered her sweetheart was on drugs.
I don't believe you. No way. Who sent you?
Today? Nobody.
And what if I did believe you? What would that change? If I don't do this for her, how could I ever look her in the eyes? How could we stay together?
You think you'll stay together when you lose your title and they accuse her of doping?
At least I know I tried.
I know your record. Your rise to the top is clean, free of both O'Leary's and drugs. God, you might just be one of the only honest athletes I've met recently. Please don't let them change that.
Is it all about being professional to you?
Suit yourself. But trust me, your manager is a murderer. Get as far away from him as possible.
Hey, Blacksad. I'll think about it.
Я нечаянно попросил его не проигрывать бой, да? Честный бой, бескомпромиссная борьба.
Yale confirmed to me that Dunn found out that Mitchell was giving him meds. That was the reason they argued the evening of his death.
In fact, I was clean at the time. Hadn't used for days. I didn't want to go down that road. I wanted to follow Joe.
But he discovered everything.
He didn't believe me when I said I had nothing to do with it.
But you used again.
Only after his death. I needed to cope.
But the drugs gave you a panic attack.
Yeah. But I've been clean ever since.
Mitchell gave you the pills when he stopped by the hospital. Hence, your miraculous recovery. Are you planning on taking them before the fight? Don't do it, Bobby.
Someone has to save the gym. I owe it to Joe. And Sonia. And my Aunt Mary.
Когда дело это честно.
The only thing you owe them is integrity. What would Dunn think of you now? Sorry about your Aunt Mary. She was a good woman.
Так вот у нее откуда проблемы с сердцем-то было. Побочечка. Хорош вообще, там развивается прям такой. Пошел с тем перетер, с этим перетер, там вообще осталось только босса накрыть. А босс, я так понимаю, все-таки, наверное, O'Leary будет, да? Угу.
Stone and Yale hadn't taken away the bitterness I felt. I needed a friend. He was outraged that I hadn't given him the tip, but he let it go as soon as I bought him a milkshake.
Харек там людей мочит, ты чё? Слушайте, а этот хрен так и стоит, он стоит там всю игру.
Only friendship could reconcile me with the world. Only that could make me believe in mankind again.
Хорошо излагает вообще, да?
Only that could cleanse my soul. Only that and money.
И деньги. Откуда у тебя деньги?
In your standard noir novel, Yale and Stone would be punished for breaking the rules. There would be justice for Sonia, the victim. But this was the real world. As the detective who had cracked the case, I just had to get my paycheck and be on my way.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Blacksad. Mr. Thorpe is on his way. Care to take a seat while you wait?
I guess I'll just have to wait.
He'll be here in a minute. Please, take a seat.
О, слушай, а может это сам этот, как раз Торп? Вот это был бы классный поворот, кстати, да. Он же босс.
No matter how many curveballs destiny throws his way, he always manages to land on his feet. When he was a rising sports talent, the war put an end to his career, so he became a war hero. After the war, he didn't end up like Gil or like me. He became an elite athlete, a Hall of Fame football star. When an accident left him in a wheelchair, he went on to succeed in advertising.
Вообще лев. Юлия Слупняк, Магилс, Зиглер, Копи, Шон Торнтон.
No, that's not possible. But what if Tim Thorpe was somehow involved in Mitchell's operation?
Mr. Blacksad? Mr. Thorpe is running later than expected, but he insists on meeting you, if you don't mind.
Sure, as long as you help me fight off this boredom.
That's not in my job description, but...
If I had her markings on my skin, would I be the same person? Would my name be different?
Смотри, декольте какое, хрен с ним. Джон Blacksad. Рожа. Так.
If my hunch is right, There should be a meeting with Mitchell noted somewhere in Thorpe's agenda. Has anything odd happened at the agency lately?
Not on my shift. Perhaps the oddest thing I've seen is a bored detective asking a lot of questions.
Ну-ка, полистай-ка
Well,
ежедневничек.
you see, I've got a problem. In order to figure out how much Mr. Thorpe owes me, I need to know what day I started working on the case. But I can't remember. You wouldn't have that written down, would you?
It sure wasn't on my shift. I remember. Let me see.
Установление обед с губернатором. Мгм. Давай, third time is a lucky charm. Mitchell.
What? Dunn was here 2 days before he died? Why didn't Thorpe ever mention that?
I'm sorry, but your name's not on here.
Wait, I just remembered something. The day I came, Joe Dunn had just walked out the door.
Well, no. You don't have any appointments. Although, I guess I could have forgotten to write you in. Mr. Dunn, who's usually very kind, left in a flurry. He even slammed Mr. Thorpe's door.
Okay. Now I know I have to get into Thorpe's office.
And he didn't even say goodbye.
Yes, that was the day. You don't recall me because the minute I saw Dunn stomp out, I followed him. I never actually came in.
Of course. That explains it.
No doubt. So, since it looks like Mr. Thorpe won't be here soon, I think I'll go take a walk down the hall. Gotta stay in shape.
Такая деваха классная тоже, блин. Овеньки, овеньки. Класс. Ничего, мы из тебя лосины потом сделаем,
Tell
чувак.
me there's a back door to your office.
There's always the back door. Борду. Карточки. Вот карточка. Мгм. Не, ну вообще, конечно, шикарная именно игруха в плане сюжета, геймплей прикольный, если бы не сраные карточки собирать. Это что? Офис, вход через митинг-рум. Я же могу ей позвонить. Борьбе.
So, you had something to do with that chest expander after all.
Через окошко выходить не будем, да? Окей.
If Weekly were here, I'd have to tie his hands behind his back.
Это классно, да. Хорошая фраза. Фотограф бы увидел профессиональную технику и прям... Чувак, давай. О, карточка. Пит Франчетти. Так, запомним, здесь есть выход. Так, let's go to the waiting room, for example. Ой-ой-ой, еще там. Рузвельт. Сортир. Можно в сортир зайти? Нет, конечно, зачем? Мы не ходим по сортирам. Мы ж коты, черт побери, мы так справляемся. Ну ладно, наконец-то саксофон отобрали у человека, посадили за рояль. Степан Лабай.
Cats aren't afraid of heights. That's why I've never felt vertigo.
Shit, чувак.
In my experience, when something looks really good, it ends up smelling really bad.
Охренеть. Ни одной карточки. Так, продолжаем. Меня восхищает, что чувак вламывается постоянно в чужие кабинеты, дома. И вообще все норм. Вообще, насколько я знаю, в США как бы это не разрешено.
When one of the strings, the accuracy of his throw, I earned the nickname Iron Arm. I used to throw the ball in 50 miles. And when wherever it wanted. And my coach, the great Joffrey Sox. And so I worked hard. Pearl Harbor. I enlisted immediately. After losing a partner in combat, a serious injury, I asked to be relocated. I became a sniper. I know I shouldn't say this, but I was one of the best in the Army, and it was all thanks to my accuracy. No, it was all thanks to Jeffrey Sachs. I wonder how many Americans that man saved with my arm. After these words, Tim Thorpe is moved almost to tears and asks me to take a break. It's shocking to see how an athlete and soldier, a man whose aim and skill won him a Medal of Honor and the nickname Surgeon among his brothers in arms. That can't be. I mean, it could be a coincidence, but no. Why am I surprised? In every investigation, there comes a point where every single lead seems to go down the drain. And you have to retrace your steps to get back on the right track.
Это прикольно. Ну, чё она не переводится-то? О, перевелась наконец. Ты смотри. Так вот кто наш снайпер, оказывается. Но он ли наш босс? Упс. Босс, смотрите.
Oh, crap. Of course. I better not use it. It might be connected to the switchboard at the front desk. It's a bit strange to see no office chair behind a desk until you remember the desk's owner is in a wheelchair.
Оказывается, он может ходить. А черт, я выйти-то не могу.
That leads to the front desk.
Ну, что там еще-то есть? Так, выйти никуда нельзя, значит, надо подедуктировать, да? Давай дедуктировать, чё? Так. Нет. Так.
Wait, what if Groon's drugs helped Thorpe walk?
Так. Ну ладно. Да ладно. Если так. Ладно. I don't get it. Так. Нет? Ну вот логика, да? На столе стоит пузырек. Соответственно, препараты помогают преодолеть физические ограничения. Ладно, хер с ним. А если так? Вообще, привет, Лех. Настя, так? Ну-ка. Ну, если вот так. По-тупому, но... Задумался еще так. Да не, херня. А, вот так вот, да, было? Охренеть. Сратый
Is the
выбор.
man behind the whole drug operation.
Да, нет. Ну, не знаю. А если так? А если так? Угу. Не, ну это совсем тупо как. Придется думать еще раз, блин. И сейчас окажется какая-то совершенно идиотская опять телега. А что если таблетки помогают ходить? А, вот оно как. Вы смотрите.
Of course, it wasn't Mitchell or Gil. It was Thorpe who shot Randall at the hospital. Everything adds up now. And yet I can already hear Smirnoff telling me I have no conclusive evidence. What if I set a trap for Thorpe? But how?
Так. И где это? Нужно заманить. Да? Если так. Да. Ловушка. Пистолет. Снайпер. Ловушка. Пистолет. Боевые товарищи. Ловушка. Пистолет. Пузырек. Никак, да? Ловушка. Пистолет. Так, это делали. А, ну давайте попробуем. Ловушка. Пистолет. Это пробовали, это пробовали. А если так? Да ладно. Что за идиотизм?
What if I place Thorpe's gun up there and corner him so that he has to stand up to get it? The show was about to begin. All I needed was an audience and some patience.
Stop it!
Arr! Don't you know who you're dealing with, matey?
What a silly man.
Mutiny! You wants to be shark-bait, do ya? Oh, Blacksad. I feel terrible for keeping you waiting.
John.
But you see, there was mutiny on board, so...
Сейчас тут будет бунт.
You see what I have to put up with. All right, helmswoman, to the cabin with you! Onward!
Aye, aye, Captain.
Come along, Blacksad. Julie, don't let anyone bother us. Honey, will you wait in the boardroom for me, please?
But...
I'll just be a minute then. I think you've already suffered enough.
Okay.
And think about where you'd like to have dinner tonight, okay? You see, I'm not gonna pay you for solving the case.
Fair enough. The truth is, I didn't solve it.
No, it's not that. You'll get every penny we agreed on, and more.
But not because you solved the case, but for her. 2 days ago, she wanted to end it all. Drop out of college, sell the gym. Too many wounds to heal. But through your incredible work, you managed to heal them. Well, perhaps not completely. It takes time to get over something like this. But at least, thanks to you, Sonia wants to be happy. She has hope. I'm going to help her make Dunn's gym the best in the city. Who would have ever guessed it, huh?
I'm happy for her. She's been through a lot, and honestly, I wasn't sure she'd make it.
Well, she hasn't just yet. But she will in time. Anyway, back to the case. All those people you confronted. Gil, the German doctor, even Mitchell. Huh. I would have never suspected him. Did they say anything? Why did they do it? Did they mention any accomplices?
They did mention a certain surgeon.
Surgeon? You have any idea who that could be?
A journalist told me. Ring a bell?
I'm sure you've got good intentions, but you're wrong. What makes you think that? I'm sure there's an explanation.
Don't deny it. I know Mitchell gave them to you.
People see a wheelchair and think, poor guy, he can't walk. But there's so much more to it than that. Some nights I can't even sleep from the pain.
That doesn't explain why you didn't tell me you knew about those drugs. I know that you are a highly skilled sniper, and I think it was you who shot Randall Lee at the hospital.
Have you seen me, Blacksad? How could I possibly do that? I hired you to solve this damn case. You think that's what a murderer would do?
Only because you thought I'd blame Bobby Yale and drop the case. But as soon as I realized something wasn't right, you sent Randall Lee and Gil to give me a scare. And when all that failed, you ordered Lee to kill me.
You're the type that won't open his jaws once he's got his prey, aren't you?
I think I've made that clear enough by now.
Put yourself in my place for a minute. You're a promising football player who just got back from the war, but you're still a nobody. The man you saved kindly opens his house to you, and that man is still undone by his wife's passing. He works all day at his gym, and he drinks himself to sleep at night. So you practically end up raising his daughter. You give her her very first abacus. You encourage her to further her education. You comfort her when she misses her mother and her father. Meanwhile, your sporting career takes off. Life is good. Until one day, out of the blue, an accident cripples you. An old friend, Mitchell, tells you he knows someone who can help you. A German doctor. His drugs take some time to work, but they do wonders. You manage to walk for short bursts at a time, little by little. And those bursts keep getting longer. But the drugs aren't cheap at all. So you have to find a way to pay for them, don't you see?
So you decided to start an advertising agency focused on product endorsement by athletes. And then it occurred to you to sell them those same drugs you were taking. Drugs would help them excel, and you'd get better ad deals. The perfect business model. Your first client? Craig Spano. His career had hit a rough patch, so... You decided to help him, to reboot his career. And yet, when the drugs started having serious side effects, you got rid of him. Afraid he would talk, you tried to kill him. That's why he hid. From then on, your business was smooth sailing. You even began to think you were above the law. You thought that you were untouchable. Until Joe Dunn found out, and then, 2 days before his unfortunate death, he came to see you.
That's enough now. You stop it. Now, I don't know if I'm above the law, but I am sure as hell not beneath it. Do you know how much power I have? The kind of people I eat with every day? I could shoot you right now, and nothing would happen to me.
With that gun you keep in your drawer? I'm afraid not. I placed your pistol out of reach, just in case you happen to confirm my suspicions, Ironarm. And now, if you'd excuse me, I have an appointment with the police.
I won't let anyone wreck my life again. Sonia and I, we deserve a future.
You can come in now, Smirnoff.
Timothy Wilson Thorpe, drop your weapon. You're under arrest. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, the state will provide one for you. Mr. Thorpe.
Все-таки завалило, да, мать? Угу. Как вы мне все надоели. Но это любовь. Ну, конечно, выстрел в сердце, ты чё?
You are under arrest for the death of Timothy Wilson Thorpe. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, the state will provide one for you. Do you understand these rights as I have just read them to you? With these rights in mind, do you wish to speak to me? Watch your step.
Короче, надо было отбирать у нее тогда пистолет. Ну-ка, давайте загрузим, попробуем, что будет. Сразу не начнем его разматывать. Давайте начнем его разматывать постепенно. А то прям сразу мы взяли его за кокушки.
Stop it!
Arr! Don't you know who you're dealing with, matey?
What a silly man.
Mutiny! You wants to be shark bait, do ya? Oh, Blacksad. I feel terrible for keeping you waiting.
John.
Да, нет таких вот. Ну, хотя, с другой стороны, Лех, в тебя не стреляют. Она, кстати, неплохо стреляет, надо сказать.
See what I have to put up with. All right, helmswoman, to the cabin with you. Onward.
Aye, Captain.
Come along, Blacksad. Julie, don't let anyone bother us. Honey, will you wait in the boardroom for me, please?
But...
Так он вроде тоже не злодей особо, ты понимаешь? Вот в этом же прелесть нуарных произведений, что там живые люди, они не черно-белые, они есть и хороший, и плохой. Ну, не скажешь, что прям совсем тварь какая-то, да? Вполне себе, ничего, дядька. Ну да, зарабатывал как мог. Оп. Товарищ
You
Смирнов.
see, I'm not gonna pay you for solving the case.
Fair enough. The truth is, I didn't solve it.
No, it's not that. You'll get every penny we agreed on, and more. But not because you solved the case, but for her. 2 days ago, she wanted to end it all. Drop out of college, sell the gym. Too many wounds to heal. But through your incredible work, you managed
Ох,
to
моя
heal
потрясная работа.
Well, perhaps not completely. It takes time to get over something like this. But at least, thanks to you, Sonia wants to be happy. She has hope. I'm going to help her make Dunn's gym the best in the city. Who would have ever guessed it, huh?
I'm happy for her. She's been through a lot, and honestly, I wasn't sure she'd make it.
Well, she hasn't just yet. But she will in time. Anyway, back to the case. All those people you confronted. Gil, the German doctor, even Mitchell. Huh. I would have never suspected him. Did they say anything? Why did they do it? Did they mention any accomplices?
I think the only accomplice was Randall Lee.
Oh yeah, that bastard. You see, besides my esteem for Joe and Sonia, this ordeal really hits close to home.
No doubt. I understand.
Sports are my livelihood. Do you know how many of the athletes involved have a deal with me?
How do you know that?
What?
Oh, wait. Sonia told you.
Yes, that's it. Sonia told me.
That's funny. I never told Sonia.
Well then, do you know how many of the athletes involved have a deal with me?
I think I have a slight idea.
So far, the papers only talk about bodies down at the docks and an illegal lab. Not one has mentioned the athletes. But if one word gets out, this agency's future could be on the line. Not to mention Sonia's and the gym's. Could I ask you to be discreet?
I'm sorry to say your future is already on the line.
What do you mean?
Ну-ка давайте
I
обманем.
know the press. Sooner or later, someone will talk.
I guess you're right. But let's do everything in our power to avoid that. Anyway, that's it. Julie has your check. Don't forget to claim it. Thank you again, Blacksad. I don't know what state Sonia would be in if it weren't for you.
I had to act, then and there, or let Thorpe get away with it.
Excuse me for not standing.
No, I won't excuse you. I know you could stand if you wanted to.
I'm sure you've got good intentions, but you're wrong. What makes you think that? I'm sure there's an explanation.
According to Spano, the mastermind was a certain surgeon. I thought it was Mitchell, but now I know the truth. A journalist told me. Ring a bell? I know you ordered Randall Lee to kill Joe Dunn, and you tried to frame Bobby Yale, who had recently given up your medical services.
Joe was my friend. Don't you get it? I hired you to solve this damn case. You think that's what a murderer would do?
Only because you thought I'd blame Bobby Yale and drop the case. But as soon as I realized something wasn't right, you sent Randall Lee and Gil to give me a scare. And when all that failed, you ordered Lee to kill me.
You're the type that won't open his jaws once he's got his prey, aren't you?
Depends on the prey.
Ну-ка, давайте сейчас одну версию пройдем, потом посмотрим. Тут же концовок миллион тоже будет, да? Стопудово.
Put yourself in my place for a minute. You're a promising football player who just got back from the war, but you're still a nobody. The man you saved kindly opens his house to you, and that man is still undone by his wife's passing. He works all day at his gym, and he drinks himself to sleep at night. So you practically end up raising his daughter. You give her her very first abacus. You encourage her to further her education. You comfort her when she misses her mother and her father. Meanwhile, your sporting career takes off. Life is good. Until one day, out of the blue, an accident cripples you. An old friend, Mitchell, tells you he knows someone who can help you. A German doctor. His drugs take some time to work, but
не горю, Лёх. Все
they
мы
do wonders.
в космическом масштабе одинаково
You
ничтожны.
manage to walk for short bursts at a time.
Смотришь в окошко и понимаешь, что ты есть, что тебя нет. Картинка за окошком-то не изменится, так что это нормально.
So you have to find a way to pay for them, don't you see?
Поэтому у нас есть мы. Да, это вот так вот ответить.
So you started by selling drugs to athletes. Then you decided to start an advertising agency to hire those same athletes. Drugs would help them excel, and you'd get better ad deals. The perfect business model. Your first client? Craig Spano. His career had hit a rough patch, so...
No.
He was the guinea pig for your new operation. And yet, when the drug started having serious side effects, you got rid of him. Afraid he would talk, you tried to kill him. That's why he hid.
He hid, спрятался.
Your business was smooth sailing. You even began to think you were above the law. You thought that you were untouchable. Until Joe Dunn found out, and then, 2 days before his unfortunate death, he came to see you.
That's enough now. You stop it. Now, I don't know if I'm above the law, but I am sure as hell not beneath it. Do you know how much power I have?
Ой,
The kind
прям.
of people I eat with every day? I could shoot you right now, and nothing would happen to me.
With that gun you keep in your drawer? I'm afraid not. I placed your pistol out of reach, just in case you happen to confirm my suspicions, Ironarm. And now, if you'll excuse me, I have an appointment with the police.
I won't let anyone wreck my life again.
Давайте попробуем спасти Соню
We deserve a
от
future.
срока.
You can come in now, Smirnoff.
Timothy Wilson Thorpe, drop your weapon. You're under arrest. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, the state will provide one for you. Mr. Thorpe.
Ты заманала стрелять в людей. Что ж ты за человек-то такой? Ну как так? А он даже не докурил. Ну-ка, давай по лицу.
Sonia Dunn.
Бедный Смирнов, а? Вообще
You are
ему прям
arrested
не фартит.
for the death of Timothy Wilson Thorpe. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used
Just
against
shut
you in a court of law.
Sonia should never set foot in jail.
Blacksad, don't.
You and I have done similar deeds. You remember, right? If you're gonna arrest her, arrest me first, and then arrest yourself.
No, there's no way this could work. How do we hide this? John?
I'll put the bullets back in the gun. Thorpe had me at gunpoint, but Sonia was faster. We're doing the right thing, Chief.
John, why do I end up getting my hands dirty every time I close to
Почему каждый раз я, говорит, все с вами так херово? А все, что надо было, отобрать чертов пистолет. Не, ну просто женщина, она сразу появилась и решила, что я кого-нибудь сегодня по-любому убью. Мне интересно, чем этот матч кончится. Как он, боксерский. Будет он вообще или нет. Она зачастила, кстати, на похороны-то. Зато если ей теперь перепадет не только зал, но и рекламное агентство, вот это будет хохма. Во-во-во, Мэдисон Сквер Гарден. Ну-ка давайте-ка. Ты 5 кусков поставил? Чего он тебя интересует в меньшую очередь? Ты чё, чувак?
Did Stone let him win? I had done everything in my power for things to go the way my moral compass dictated. Whether anyone would listen to me, that was another story.
И был диким
Because no
махач.
matter what they tell us, our actions don't always determine our future.
Да.
My moral compass. As if I even knew what that means. I didn't even know what to think of my performance throughout the case. Did I have a clear conscience? Would I have made the same decisions, given the chance?
Не, по-любому. Будем перепроходить. Когда? Тогда и посмотрим на different decisions. Чувак ушел в закат. Так, а чем кончилось? Как это? Гимн отлетающей монетизации, да, как это назвали? Музыку на титрах. Я сомневаюсь, что она чья-то, но давайте все равно. Хотя какая нахер разница? Монетизация все равно не подключена. Так, ну что ж, попробуем потом... Слушайте, смотрите, сколько тут это музыкальное сопровождение охренительное, да? Тромбон, вокал. Это сейчас вот Джошуа Мартино Родригес поет, видимо, да? В общем, надо будет потом перепройти за засранца и посмотреть, что будет при этом, да? Потому что пока что, конечно, вот, в принципе, хоть посмотреть итог, скажем так. Отдел Смирнова по поиску ошибок. Отличное название, да? Как это называется там? Посмотреть, чем кончается эта история, да, по итогу. Что будет-то? Вообще, как бы, игра-то, конечно, очень качественная по своей природе, да. Мне вообще прямо она, конечно, зашла. Вы знаете, она лучше большинства интерактивных кино, как это ни странно. Может, да, она специфична в силу, как бы, стилистики, собаки, кошки, все дела. Привет! Здоровье отличное. Завтра увидимся на работе. Кое с кем. А с кем-то не увидимся, с кем-то увидимся в понедельник. Так что, мужчина эскимо на палке, все у нас будет в лучшем виде. Жив-здоров и невредим, мальчик Коля Бородин, как говорится, да? Так, анимация, прототип, перевод, английский и все остальное. Итальянский, голландский, зацените. Больше всего переводила на русский, да? Там-то как-то справился один человек, а на русский пришли переводить, блин, все. Потому что, видимо, мало кто знает английский язык, поэтому подтянули человека, каждый, кто по чуть-чуть перевел, и все нормально. Тристан, блин, Соня, да, озвучка прикольная, да? Это Барри Джонсона мы слышали, оказывается, все это время. Хочется попытаться спасти эту уборщицу, первое. Второе, хочется отобрать у Сони пистолет, чтобы она перестала, блин, сука, убивать людей. А в-третьих, хочется всегда брать бабки, чтобы я был дохрена преуспевающий чувак. И посмотреть, что получится. Я прям даже вот не знаю. Потому что я так понимаю, что здесь прям это... слишком большая вариативность. И мне интересно, реально меняется ли концовка от того... собственно говоря, какие-то решения принимаешь. И в конце концов, кто победил в этом чертовом матче? Где мои бабки? 5 кусков. 5 чертовых кусков поставлены на это... на исход матча. Это 5 кусков только за себя. А я еще за вдову. И, кстати, я вдову взял, интересно. Тоже до хрена денег поставил. Простите, там тоже от души. Я выиграл-то сколько тогда в этой фильме? Все заберу, блин, больше не буду деньги ставить. Еще они все равно ко мне не возвращаются. Какая-то херня. Надо прям вот брать налом. А то так они никогда не вернутся. Сейчас не будет, завтра будет, я думаю. Завтра попробуем засесть, быстренько прокликать альтернативу, потому что сейчас уже будет попроще, побыстрее. И посмотреть, можно ли так сказать, брать разные решения, что от этого будет меняться. Потому что игра, в принципе, не очень долго, там за 2-3 часа она нормально проходится, если вот не тупить. Ну и, конечно, жалко, что нельзя зачастую проматывать эти несчастные диалоги, болтовню. Я понимаю, что в этом суть игры, но вот при прохождении тут уже как бы такое. Меня дико убрал бездумный козел, конечно. Вот бездомный козел прям шикарен. Просто сейчас бы я тоже поиграл, но учитывая, что завтра на работу, то как бы это вставать рано, идти долго, работать сын Смирнова. Да-да-да, они же там хихикали, да? По телевизору, это я помню. Блин, русская речь, я тебя умоляю. Давайте быстрее. Блин, почему это нельзя промотать? Ну вот, нажмите кнопочку, пожалуйста. Человеки. Не, нихера. Фрэнк Кэссиди, это очень важно. Я должен знать, что его озвучивал Юрий Малиаров какой-то, блин. Кара Юль. Блин, ну игра оказалась вот реально Рекомендую всем прям зарубиться, потому что она прикольная. Вот лучше, чем всякие там Man of Medan, вот этот вот трэш. Ну, разве что из детективов, конечно, ее сильно перебивает Heavy Rain. Ну, именно атмосферой. Heavy Rain вообще игра, после которой хочется просто пройти, закрыть и выйти в окошко. Настолько там безысходность, особенно когда ты получаешь плохую концовку, когда ты там потратил там 5 часов, и все плохо. Все, блин, все, вообще все херово. Ты все слил, все умерли, блин, с ума сошли, и, в общем, да, в этот момент ты понимаешь, что действительно далеко не все зависит от твоих поступков. И это точно, абсолютно. Мне интересно, если бы я нажал кнопку «Нет», то есть я не со всеми своими поступками согласен, тогда что было бы? Мне было местами обидно немножко, да, я Heavy Rain сразу прошел на топовую концовку, нечаянно совершенно. Сейчас не по решению, ни почему. Может, еще как-нибудь переиграем, сядем. Итог будет, нет, или нам меню покажут? Как Blacksad ушел в закат, блин, к херам. Че я спасаю эту морозину-то? Может, ее лучше бы застрелили, и я бы успокоился. Или она бы застрелилась. Да, ты прикинь. Ни хера не будет. Вот это сюрприз. Ах. Так. А если, например, продолжить, что будет, простите? Так, а смотрите, вот если... Что у меня, как мой Blacksad выглядит? Он романтичный до усрачки, наверное, да, у нас? Да, он у нас просто романтичный на все 100. Смышленый, ловкий, болтливый, бедный, до хрена принципиальный, осторожный и стуко чуткий. Слушай, ну прям идеальный мужик. Что за беда такая? Почему же ему женщина не досталась? Вот опять же, хочется посмотреть вот эту предыдущую сцену, да, взял, ушел, они все остались счастливы, здоровы, такие все прикольные. И ты с деньгами, они с жизнью. Чувак ходить научится, ну, только не очень быстро и не очень далеко, потому что, как бы, препаратов-то больше нет. Нахера сожгли доктора? Я вообще не понимаю, честно. Вот эту ящерицу совершенно банально слили, она явно не была каким-то прям пососным персонажем, достаточно толковым, да, но почему так-то ее сливали? Короче, сейчас давайте втыкнем на «нет», что я недоволен всеми своими решениями, и посмотрим, что будет.
After everything that had happened, the last thing I was interested in was the fight. Did Yale take drugs before the fight? Did Stone let him win? I had done everything in my
Чё, вот, блин, перевод хреновый. Там переводило 5 человек, и люди нормально во времена не могут в английской речи. Блин, они классно. Такие накачанные ребятки, такие пам-пам. А, кстати, фигня, потому что тогда, по-моему, еще без перчаток бились, между прочим. Или перчатки другие были. Это когда там 15 раундов были профессиональные бои за титул, вот это было, блин, суровое время. Тут же как... А, хотя тут уже 46-й год, 47-й, да? В принципе, может уже, да, уже перчатка. Да ты, блин, все просрал, чувак. Да нет у тебя совести. Ну, в смысле, совесть есть, она чиста, карман пустой, ты сам, блин, у тебя ушки короткие, мужик. Нет. Ну, сейчас что нам предложат? Нет. И чё? Ну нет и нет. То есть просто жест меняется, покачал головой, либо кивнул, да? Охренительно. Вот это вариативность, вот это я понимаю. Вот это от души. Да. Ну и чё? Опять? Да ну-то вас это, в дупу. Вы чё, парни? Ладно, больше я смотреть титры не собираюсь. Ладно, обязательно сядем, перепройдем заново эту фигню. Не знаю, завтра, не завтра, ну, в общем, на днях. Хочу реально сделать из него просто засранца, но при этом, чтобы все выжили, чтобы он был продажный, как тварь просто. И посмотреть, что будет. Если брать везде бабки, ни с кем не ссориться, стараться прям работать на мафиозу, на одних, вторых, этого чувака пощадить. Вот там, наверное, будет другая концовка. Вот это, я думаю, да, вот это будет прикольно. В общем, будем посмотреть. А пока что, думаю, на сей мажорной ноте надо заканчивать, идти спать. Завтра арбайтом-копайтом. И, в общем, всем хорошей пятнички, неплохо зажечь, повеселиться, сожрать что-нибудь вкусное. Завтра проснуться и занять себя чем-то позитивным. В общем, всем спасибо, все свободны.